Hello, good evening. Twin Minds here. It's time for another What the Friday with Aviary Attorney, as requested repeatedly by Demos. Hi, hello, welcome. It is time to get our bird lawyering on. I know nothing about this game. I know that it's got birds and lawyers and fancy music and nice little lined ink drawings. There's supposedly voice acting already in the game, because I had to change the volume for voice. So I might not have to make up my own voices, and this would be nice. Like twice. Bullshit. You brought up the bird lawyer game many times. But, Aviary Attorney. Bird at law. It actually took quite a bit of effort to get this to capture properly. It would not capture as a full screen game. It would not capture as a windowed game. I have to capture it as a standard desktop window and then use borderless gaming to force it into full screen. That was tricky. It took quite a bit of effort. But yeah, we're here. We're ready. It's capturing. It's working. It's not exploding. So time to be a bird lawyer. Let me know if the volumes are good. January 1st, 1848. That place with a name. We have a dead frog, ripped open. Is that Monsieur Gwenry? Dame Catterline, what have you done? Act 1. A cat with claws. Those aren't birds. Those aren't voices. It's midday already. Where on earth is that featherhead? Well, look who finally decided to get up. Haven't you heard what they say about the early bird, Falcon? Too early for worms. Pass the Cabernet Sauvignon. There'll be time for that later. We've got some business to handle first. Business? Ding! A letter arrived while you were sleeping. I haven't opened it yet. I can't ask for your help because you didn't get very far. Fair enough. So we actually did Shotgun Farmers. We did that for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But I recorded that, so I will hopefully be making some form of video out of that. We'll see. Who knows? It's probably just more junk mail. Go ahead, Sparrowson. You may have the honors. All right. Ahem. Dear Monsieur Falcon, I am writing to you today because my daughter, Dame Catterline, has been arrested for a crime she did not commit. She is being held... Damn French people. I don't know how to speak French. I don't know how to pronounce French. She's being held at the concierge... that prison on charge of murder, no less. Her trial is in 3 days' time. I am terrible at French. I've had a really hard time figuring out how to pronounce French in my life. I would be greatly in your debt if you would offer her your legal aid. Yours sincerely, Senor Pertoir Demiao, of the Demiao estate. Demiao. What do you mean don't say the last letter? You mean don't say the last, 5 letters? Also, hi Scooby. No, there's only so much arena shooters that I can take. That was basically 2 straight hours of that, more than I would normally do. Well, this is quite something. I know, your first serious client in months. Not just that, the Demiao estate is well known for its exuberant wealth. Even if we cannot do much for the Dame Catterline, his lordship would still award us handsomely for our efforts. Wow, so I suppose you intend on defending Dame Cataline in court? Of course. It would be foolish to let such good opportunities slip through our feathers. Grab your coat, Sparrowson. We're going to find our kitty client at that prison. Excellent. My derriere was getting tired from all the sitting around. I know that word. Oh, but I better file away Senor de Meow's letter first. One moment, Falcon. Pertoir's letter has been added to your evidence folder. Nice. You may access the evidence folder at any time by clicking the suitcase symbol. Ah, nearly forgot my wallet. Wouldn't want to lose that. ... Again, as I recall you losing it at last New Year's party. And at Christmas. Yes, all right. No need to make a list. Falcon has picked up his wallet. I have 20 francs. I didn't realize that this was going to be a French game at heart, or I would have seriously reconsidered because of my horrible French pronunciation. You may see how much money he's carrying at any time by clicking on the wallet symbol. Let's make a move. January 3rd, Monday. Welcome to the map screen. From here, you can travel to any listed area by clicking on a location name or location node. Areas marked with a clock symbol take a whole day to visit. Areas with no symbol can be visited freely. Okay, so we've got the prison, and we've got AA offices. On the door reads the Aviary Attorney offices. No case is too big or too small. No junk mail. For centuries, the infamous prison has detained the accused and condemned alike. Sure. Wabonk. Falcon and Sparrowson step into the stone-cold foyer of the prison. Sullen-faced guards and visitors linger beneath the medieval archways. Ah, the prison. They say this is the finest prison in the whole of France. The outer walls are impenetrable. The cells are spotless. The guards are well-mannered. Maybe.
What do you want?
Good day, monsieur. I am here to see Dame Cataline de Meow. I am due to represent her in court.
Oh, you're a lawyer, huh? Fine, follow me. Well, what are you waiting for? Keep up.
Sigh. My papa hasn't forgotten about me, has he? Dame Cataline de Meow, I presume. You arrived. The fantastic lawyer, Monsieur Falcon, and his petite assistant, Sparrowson. Milady is knowledgeable. Don't talk like that, Sparrowson.
Sorry.
My papa told me that he would only hire the best lawyers in town. I'm flattered. I'm flattered too. ... But they weren't available on such short notice, so he hired the first people in the address directory. Oh. You see, Falcon, I told you listing under Aviary Attorney would pay off. Let's get down to business. Dame Cataline, could you fill us in on some details? Your father's letter was a little brief. I can do my best. What is it you wanted to know? What happened on the night of the murder? Oh, let me think. It was Friday evening. Me and my papa had arrived at Chateau Crinier, the home of the great Baron... French, I swear to God. Rourgiel? Sure. Rourgiel. My papa spent all evening talking with Monsieur Grenouille and the Baron about business stuff. Business stuff? Well, the three of them own a railway company together. So all through dinner they were talking about company shares and investments, but I didn't really understand most of it. But after dinner, this man with the camera took our photograph. That was a lot more fun. Sorry, man with the what took your what? Ding! Camera! It's a very new gadget. A tiny bug sits in a box with a tiny paintbrush and paints your picture very fast. In 10 minutes, poof, you have a perfect picture. Wow, technology is amazing. A tiny box with a bug in it to paint your picture. Alright. I don't think the lady's explanation is right, Sparrowson. Pshaw, let me believe. Still, the camera sounds like a very special device. I'll make note of it. Camera has been added to your evidence folder. Please continue, Dame Caroline. So after we had the photograph, I went to the gardens to get some air, and that's when I found the body of Monsieur Grenouille. He was all ripped open. A housemaid saw me standing over the froggy monsieur and called for help, and then the police arrived. Before I could say anything, I ended up here. It was such a blur. It must have been terrifying. It wasn't so bad. My papa taught me how to be a brave cat. Was there something else you wanted to ask, Monsieur Falcon? Who else was there? Dame Caroline, who attended the banquet that evening. Well, there was me and my papa. My dearest mamma couldn't make it. And there was Baron Roquil, sure, who hosted the dinner, and his housemaid, Colleen, I think she was called. Of course, there was Monsieur Grenouille. Well, until, you know, he died. And there was Monsieur Robito de Robinio, the man with the camera. But he was only there for a little while. I think that was all. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? Dame Caroline, did you see anything suspicious that evening? Suspicious? Like, maybe a guy lurking in the shadows, or a bloodied murder weapon? Monsieur Falcon, I do believe you're looking for an easy answer. You got me. I didn't see anything, I'm afraid. The evening was very normal. The food was delicious. The conversation was boring. It was all very ordinary until the incident. I see. Wait, Falcon, you missed something of huge importance. I did. Dame Caroline, you said the food was delicious. But you didn't say what food it was. You and your damn stomach. Let me see. We had poached red herring to start, garnished with garlic butter. Go on. Then a marbled steak served perfect bloody rare. Glorious. Falcon, write this down. What? This can't possibly be relevant to the case. Write it all down, please, for me. Fine, fine. Red herring has been added to your evidence folder. Bloody rare steak has been added to your evidence folder. Sparrowson, remind me not to let you talk to the clients on an empty stomach. Come to think of it, I did find it a little strange that we weren't given any cutlery. No cutlery? Even for the steak? Nope. You would think that the great Baron of Chateau Crunier would have gorgeous damn it. Would have gorgeous silverware, but there was none to be seen. That is a little peculiar. Was there anything else you wanted to know, Monsieur Falcon? No, I think that will be all. So, what's the plan now, Falcon? The way I see it, not her. The way I see it, we have two tasks. We should head to Chateau Crunier and try to see the scenes of murder for ourselves. And we should try to track down the supposed photographer, Monsieur Robito de Robinio. 2 days for 2 tasks? Seems doable. But we should head back and get some rest first. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Wait, Monsieur Falcon, before you go. You do believe my story, don't you? I believe in justice. Dame Caroline, I believe that a fair trial can draw the truth from any situation. I believe in justice. That's good to hear. You're not wrong, Falcon, but that's not what the lady needed to hear. You might want to work on being less of a... how to put it? Fils de pute? If serving justice makes me a Fils de pute. Then I will wear that title proudly. Dame Caroline, Monsieur Grenouille, Baron Roquil. These names are getting a bit confusing, aren't they? Not particularly. Well, it is for me. I'm going to start compiling a Facebook so that I can keep track of who everyone is. A what? A Facebook. It's a collection of people's names, pictures, and descriptions in one easy-to-carry catalog. I think I understand. The name could use a little work, though. Sparrow has started compiling a Facebook. Great. I got a Facebook. Quark, an ill-mannered jailkeeper, seems to feel disgust for criminals and for animals in general. All right, we'll read the Facebook in a moment. We have a lot of faces to book, don't we? Oh God. There's 36. Demos, enlighten me. Fils de pute. Enlighten me. Yeah, we have 36 supposed faces in our book. Steak. Dame Caroline ate a bloody rare steak at the banquet. This is a red herring. Indeed. Camera. A photographer named Robitio attended the banquet. And then Pertoire's letter. Care to enlighten me further, Demos? Oop. You can access a list of people you've met at any time by clicking the book symbol. Let's make a move. We have a new day. Game saves automatically at the start of each new day. Wonderful. Okay. But you can also make a quick save at any time by selecting Save and Quit from the pause menu. Curious. I don't know why I would save and quit, but sure. Okay, so we can go back to the prison. So whenever there's no clock symbol, it says we can go there at any time. When there is a clock symbol, it says it takes a whole day. And apparently we have 2 days to do this. Sure. Let's go check the scene of the crime, because I think that's going to help me before going to confront the photographer about his thing. Fils de pute or hijo de puta, son of a whore. Wow. Sparrow is a savage. Damn. So let's go visit the chateau and check the scene of the crime to see what happened. Falcon and Sparrowson enter the courtyard outside Chateau Crinier. People with dirty clothes and gaunt faces linger around the building's shadows.
Ah. Me.
Excusez-moi, messieurs. I don't mean to be a pain, but my little girl and I are sick, starving, see? Cough, cough.
I almost couldn't say that right. Don't suppose you happen to have some spare change? You have 20 francs in your wallet. What will you do? I shall give a franc. Because that's... Here you go. Stay safe, madam.
Many thanks to you, messieurs. Cough, cough.
That was pretty generous of you, Falcon. Times are tough. Making sure a mother and child have something to eat is the least I can do. But what am I doing standing here moralizing? Come on, Sparrowson. We've got business to attend to. Falcon and Sparrowson step into the pristine wood-paneled foyer of Chateau Crinier. Whoa, look at this place. I'm also forgetting entirely what voice I'm giving him, so it's going to be random throughout the entire thing. Baron Roquel must be loaded. More than loaded? When it comes to lucrative investments, the Baron is a legend. Factories, chocolate shops, hotels, railroads, the Baron owns a little bit of everything this side of the Seine. Is he here right now? Yes. He is the smug-looking chap with the impressive mane. But we must approach a man of his stature with tact and finesse. Hey, Baron! We'd like a word! How's that? Sparrowson, you have the finesse of an inebriated warthog. You can thank me later. I think I got his attention. Did I hear my name? The great Baron Rorkiel, property owner extraordinaire, at your service. And who might you fellows be? More investigators? Yep. Nope. We're attorneys. Not quite. I am a private attorney, J.J. Falcon, and this is my associate, Sparrowson. Lawyers, eh? You know, you aren't the first to have passed through here today. Oh? Yes, yes. This jumpy, twitchy fellow came by this morning. Asked a bunch of questions, then hopped away before he heard the answers. Most curious. Do you know who he was, Sparrowson? Perhaps. I have a hunch. Sorry. I have a hutch. Sorry, a hunch. We'll be seeing him at the trial. A friend of yours? Something like that. So, what may I do for you, messieurs? We're doing some research on Monsieur Grenouille, the frog who was killed here on Friday evening. Of course, such a tragedy. He was a good friend and a loyal business partner. I suppose you messieurs will be wanting to see the crime scene for yourself. Actually, yes, that would be fantastic. Well, be my guest. You will find the garden where the murder occurred through the back doors. You may also be interested in the lounge on the second floor, third door to the right. That would be where we gathered for a group photograph prior to the unfortunate incident. Oh, can we see the finished photograph? I am afraid not. It is to my understanding that the photograph must be developed before it can be viewed. It's a slow process. My own copy of the photograph is to be delivered in 3 days' time. That's no good to us. The trial may be over by then. Nonetheless, we appreciate your hospitality. It is no trouble at all. I'll be here to see you out when you are done with your investigations. So, where shall we go first? Ooh. Let us go to the garden where the incident occurred. Dame Caroline said she found Monsieur Grenouille on the stairs by the fountain, so this must be the very spot where the murder took place. Hey Falcon, do the crime scene investigation thing. The crime scene investigation thing? Yeah, you know, the thing where you get all eagle-eyed and analyze every object in excruciating detail. You mean search for evidence? Yeah, that. Do that. That's not a bad suggestion. It wouldn't be the first time the Persian police have missed something right under their noses. Oh, Parisian police, not Persian police. That's an entirely different area. In investigation mode, you are free to examine the scenery of the room. Click on an item of interest, and Falcon will examine it in closer detail. When you've had enough, or when you can find nothing else to examine, click on the X in the top right corner. Select an area to examine. Okay. That thing. Another beautifully made horse statue. You know, my uncle had once had a horse that refused to eat hay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yep, eventually we realized he was just filling up on horse nerves. Oh, terrible. A horse statue. This one has a goofy face. Paris outsourcing police now to Persia. That reminds me of a joke. A horse walks into a bar and the barkeep says, "Why the long face?" Yes, we have heard that one. What? No. The barkeep says, "You gotta stop coming in here. You're drinking us under the stable." I think it's time to rein in the horse jokes. Hold up, we got more horse jokes. Hi, Trix. Baron Rorkiel certainly likes his horse statues. I don't mind the horse statues, but the little cherub people creep me out. Babies should be waddling, not attempting saddleless horseback riding. A finely crafted horse statue. Would you say it behooves you to stroke it? No. No, I would not. So many animal puns. Alright, all that's left is the fountain? Oh, that right there. Okay. Fountain. This fountain is finely crafted. It's solid, carved marble. That can't have been cheap. I see nothing but water in the bottom of the lower basin. It's a shame we can't see inside the upper basin from here. That would be a perfect place to quickly stash a murder weapon. That's actually not a terrible line of reasoning. We ought to wade in to take a closer look, just to be sure. Yeah, I suppose we should. Oh, I apologize. I wasn't being direct enough. What I meant to say was, Sparrowson, go wade in the fountain and take a closer look in the upper basin. Me? No way. If you want to go waddling, do it yourself. Waiting. I'm a respectable lawyer. You can't expect me to roll up my trousers and paddle around a fountain like a duck in a lake. Yeah, well, you don't pay me enough to justify getting my sweet threads wet. Look, there's only one reasonable way to settle this. We'll flip for it. Flip for it? Yep, I'll flip this one franc coin. You call the outcome, get it wrong, and you go for a swim. So what'll it be, heads or tails? Napoleon face or plant squiggles? Napoleon face or plant squiggles? Napoleon face or plant squiggles? That Napoleon face, by the way, looks real derpy. And wait, if everyone is a plant, or if everyone is an animal of some variety, why do we have a human Napoleon and human cherubs on the various statues? Do we have birds and humans and other animals living all together? Like, is this something that's happening in this place? Plant squiggles. Plant squiggles? It's called a wreath, Sparrowson. Sure, I'll bet on the plant squiggles. Here we go. It's heads. Should have gone with the old Emperor, Falcon. Gah, fine, hold my shoes. Falcon really should learn how to spot a rigged coin flip. I almost feel bad for cheating. Almost. Ah, you're back. Had a good swim? Shaky, shaky. No, I'm a bird, not a fish. But I did find a mystery item in the upper basin. It's no murder weapon, though. I mean, the thing that looks like a bullet. What is this? It's brown and sticky, and it smells weird. Don't tell me that you picked up a very wet cigar butt, possibly belonging to Baron Rorquel. Correct. But that shouldn't be too surprising. It's his house, after all. I'll stash it in the evidence folder just in case. Cigar butt has been added to your evidence folder. Is there anything else we need to do here? Yes. Dried blood on the staircase. This must be where Monsieur Grenouille died. Do you see any bloody footprints? Ooh, or maybe a name scrawled in blood, written with the frog's last breath? Wishful thinking. All I'm seeing here is a big, sticky puddle. There's nothing to indicate that the body was moved or that the frog had a last-minute clue. Had left a last-minute clue. All I can make out from the bloody mess is that Monsieur Grenouille was attacked and killed on the staircase. Fair. Alright, anything else to examine? We've examined all 4 horse statues. We've examined the bloody pile where he died. We examined the fountain. I don't see anything else. I'm not getting any other mouse over areas or anything like that. Okay. I think we're done here. Good call. But are you sure you don't want to take another dip? We still have time. Don't push your luck. Alright, we shall go to the lounge where the photo was taken. Oh, Jesus. We have a giraffe in here, and she doesn't fit on screen. Second floor, 3rd door on the right. This must be the room where the photograph was taken. Psst,
Hey, Falcon, do you see that?
See what?
That housemaid just totally did something shifty.
Shifty?
I think she just pocketed something from that drawer. You should totally call her out on it.
Excuse me, mademoiselle.
Ah!
Yes?
Are you two policemen?
No, we're private attorneys. My name's J.J. Falcon. And I'm Sparrow. She's got a very high voice. I mean, she is a giraffe. Her voice would be very high.
Oh, how rude of me. My name is Colleen Duhat.
Duhat.
So, what can I help you, messieurs, with today?
We're investigating the murder that took place last week. Do you mind if we ask you a couple questions?
That's fine. Let me just grab a chair. That's better. What did you want to ask?
Is this where the photograph was taken? We're looking for the room where the photograph was taken prior to the incident. When you happen to know whether this is the right room?
Oh, yes, you're in the right place. I saw the photography session for myself. Let's see. The cameraman was standing just about where you're standing, actually, Monsieur Falcon.
And where was the camera pointed?
Right at the clock above the mantelpiece. The Baron insisted on using that very location.
Now that I'm looking at it, something isn't right about that clock.
I know, that painting totally clashes with the decor.
I was thinking more obvious lines. The clock has no hands.
Oh, that clock has never had hands in all the years I've worked here. I think Baron Roquel just keeps it around as a conversation piece.
I am the fanciest of birds. I am a bird attorney. Conversation piece, yes. Well, we're conversing about it, so I guess it's working. It's a peculiar detail, though. I'll make note of it. Missing clock hands have been added to your evidence folder.
Is there something else you wanted to ask?
Is there something we should know, madam? You were a little nervous when we came in. You thought we were police officers.
Is there something we ought to know? Anything you need to confess? No. I suppose I'm just a little nervous after all the drama last week.
Are you sure there isn't anything that you're hiding?
It's okay to tell us. We're defense attorneys. That means we help people get away with...
wait, hold up.
That means we help people get away with criminal acts.
Right, and... Wait, what? No. That's not an accurate job description, Sparrowson.
It isn't? Oh. What do we do then? ...
I'll tell you later.
Honestly, messieurs, you have nothing to hide. Was there something else you wanted to ask?
That's all then. No further questions. Thank you, mademoiselle. You've been a huge help.
No, it's no problem, messieurs. Actually, there is something. I know you two saw me stealing as you came in. I appreciate that you didn't give me the third degree about it. You see, I'm trying to save up to follow my dreams, and, well, never mind, I'm rambling.
It's no problem, mademoiselle. To be honest, we've had much larger crime to worry about. Although I should probably ask. I don't suppose you've been stealing anything else? Silverware, perhaps?
You know about that. Yeah, I suppose that was me. It started with a couple of teaspoons. I didn't think the Baron would miss those. But, well, yeah, I suppose the habit got a little away from me.
That's one mystery solved at least. Missing silverware has been added to your evidence folder.
I would appreciate it if you didn't tell the Baron. He's been really kind, and I'd hate to break his trust.
I see. So where to next, Big Bird? I like our Sparrow friend. I don't think he needs an accent or anything. He just needs to be my usual silly self. Alright, main hall is all that's left, unless I can go elsewhere. Did you, messieurs, have a good look around? I trust everything was in order? We had a good look, thank you, Baron, but we actually have some questions for you. Please, ask away. I have nothing to hide. about your housemaid. We met your housemaid, Colleen Duhot. She's a courteous young lady, isn't she? Yes, she was quite helpful. She was more than willing to help us with our investigation. I'm glad to hear it. Did you two want to ask something else? What happened on the night of the murder, perhaps? Baron Rorquiel. I would like to ask you about I keep staring at that word, trying to figure out if I can pronounce it any better, and no, I just know I will not be able to. I would like to ask you about your activities on the night of the murder. Ho ho! Am I in trouble? Maybe. No. Not at all. No, nothing like that. We're just gathering the full picture. I see. Well, let me think. The guests arrived at 5 o'clock, and we all sat down for dinner in this very hall at 6. That part went magnificently. The photographer arrived at 7 o'clock, but it wasn't until 7:30 that we had our picture taken. My housemaid discovered the crime scene soon after that. I see. Is there something else I can help you, messieurs, with? No, that's okay. I think that'll be all, Baron. Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure. Have a delightful day, messieurs. What a friendly chap. Did you get all the information you needed, Falcon? I hope so. Don't worry. If everything goes wrong in the trial, we could always just wing it. Terrible. Just terrible. Let's head back to the office and get some rest. We can always just wing it. It's fine. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. I guess we go to the studio and talk to the photographer? Let's go back to the offices quick, because I want to check all of the stuff I've got in my pocket. Falcon, why are we back in your office? We have a case to solve. I was just procrastinating. Well, stop it. We need to get back to helping Dame Cataline. Alright, I'm ready. Let's go. Hey, I want to read my shit. Fine. Fine. Be that way. Alright, we'll go to the photographer's studio. Studio Diribinio. So, this is the studio of the famous photographer. Shall we knock?
Oh, okay. I'll hydrate again. Hi, Sparkle.
I suppose I probably should stand up. I haven't stood up since before we started playing Shotgun Farmers. Murph. Close-up of merch. I don't have anything in it right now, but I have a mug. Tentacle kitty mug. Oh shit, where's the booze? You make a very solid point, Sparkle. You make a very solid point. Let me go fix that. I totally forgot what day of the week it was. Like, it registered, but only partly. Like, only some of the things that was here was registering. You are here to lurk while you stab. Wonderful. Okay. I have enabled the booze button. And also, I will take this moment to BRB to go get the booze. Alright, I am back. And firstly, cheers to Sparkle for reminding me about the booze. And then cheers to Demos for pushing the button. Alright. We shall knock on the studio. Wait, there's a note on the door. Ahem. The magnificent and marvelous artist Monsieur Robitio de Rubinio, sure, is currently out on an artistic expedition. He shall return when his muse sees fit. When his muse sees fit? What does that even mean? I think it means that he's a pretentious bird brain, but in any case, the artist seems to be out. What shall we do now? Knock anyway. We should knock anyway. Alright, I don't see the harm. Bunkety bunkety bunkety. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. Nope, doesn't look like he's in, Falcon. Fine, we'll go. Okay, so we have stuff. We have stuff and people. First off, J.J. Falcon, the Aviary Attorney himself. Sparrowson, Falcon's suave and courageous lackey. What a handsome fellow. We have Pertoir de Miao, the wealthy father of the Dame Catiline. Pertoir hired us to defend Dame Catiline's in court. We have Cork, the ill-mannered jailkeeper, seems to feel disgust for criminals and for animals in general. Catiline de Miao, the elegant bourgeois daughter of Signor Pertoir de Miao. She has been accused of murdering Monsieur Greenway. Also, Sparkle, now that you're here, pardon all of my failure in French pronunciation because I don't do France. I can't. I've never been able to pronounce anything even remotely French. Greenway, the froggy businessman who was found murdered at Chateau Crenier. A colleague of Pertoir and Rocriel. Sautan? I guess they never really gave us their names, did they? They never gave us their names. Sautan and Gambade? Gambade. A mother and her bouncy daughter who begged us for money outside Chateau Crenier. Yes, Demos is already suffering horribly through all of my terrible French pronunciations. Colleen Duhault, a vertically enabled housemaid who works for Baron Rogiel. She seems to have a mild case of kleptomania. The Baron himself, great lion of Chateau Crenier, a reputably ruthless businessman. And unknown. Lots more people involved. Okay, so that's our Facebook, by the way. We have 19 francs left to our name. And we have Pertoir's letter asking us to save his daughter. We have the camera as evidence. We don't actually have any of these things. These are more pieces that we've been told about for the most part, except for the cigar, which we actually found. The red herring. We have a red herring. We have the steak that Dame Catalina ate. We have missing silverware. Colleen, the housemaid, has confessed to stealing the silverware, so it is probably not relevant. Probably. We have missing clock hands. There's a clock in the Baron's lounge that has no hands and apparently never has had hands. And we have the cigar that was found at the bottom of the fountain in the Baron's garden. Supposedly not related, but who knows? Here's hoping that she's asleep, Trix. Good luck shoveling food down as fast as you possibly can. I hate the feeling of a wasted trip. Is there really nothing else we can do? We must respect the note. We can't just ignore a note, Sparrowson. If you say so. We'll just have to come back later if there's still time. Right. I, as a proper bird attorney, will not break into a gentleman's house just to get some evidence that may or may not be there. I would have to have probable cause for that. Okay. So, and then we have the Palace of Justice. Houses the High Court. The High Court, a place reserved only for the most serious of crimes. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. I guess I'm going here? Ah, okay, so they did say that we have the trial in 2 days, and I very, very clearly did not get enough evidence. I am confused, ever so slightly, because it feels like I should have been able to investigate more. I could have broken into his house, but that's not right or legal, so no. Falcon and Sparrowson stand inside the marble portico of the Palace of Justice, waiting the opening of the tribunal of grand insistence. I'm just making shit up at this point. Dot, dot, dot. Are you nervous, Falcon? Dot, dot, dot. That bad, huh? Dot, dot, dot. Pace, pace, pace. Monsieur Falcon, Petite Sparrowson. Is there anything you need me to do? No, we've got a handle on things. Falcon was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case. That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through.
Move along, fellas.
Ah, I'll be waiting from inside. Do your best for me, Monsieur Falcon. We will. Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. Alright, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Is everyone here? J.J. Falcon, present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Rupert Remington, present. The readiest prosecution, Your Honor. Oh, darn it, that's not it. Oh, gosh, where are my notes? Ha, I knew it. Knew what? Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in one of my classes. Oh, was he smart? Pfft, no. He always scored the second worst marks in the class. I can only assume he bumbled through the final exams on the luck of his two rabbit's feet. Unless he's improved considerably, you might already have this trial in the bag. That's good to know. But say, Sparrowson, if Rupert scored the second lowest marks in the class, then who scored the lowest? I choose to exercise my right not to self-incriminate. Ah, here it is. Ahem. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Are all in the jury present? Oh, God. I'm just going to make up random voices. All present and accounted for, Your Honor. Hey, Falcon, I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count 8? Oh, those 2 birds with the funny hats are assessors, the associate judges. Everything seems to be in order, so let us begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Dame Cataline de Mau. Prosecution, please call your first witness to the stand. Oh gosh. Are we there already? Oh, okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Volerty, to the witness stand. Yes. Inspector Volerty, please approach the stand and recite the oath. As you will, Your Honor. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Inspector, please state your name and occupation for the record. My name is Inspector Juste Volter. God damn it. I'm just gonna drink more. I am a servant to the law, a scourge of the gutter rats that plague the city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridian killer to justice. My path begins 18 years ago. Let's stick to the questions, Inspector. Of course, Your Honor. Oh, great. I was hoping we would have one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn his own mother if he saw her littering. So, Inspector, is it true that you are the lead investigator on this case? That is correct. I was also among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime. Then, perhaps you can walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival. Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Roquiel. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Cataline de Mau. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Grenouille with his blood on her paws. Well, that sounds like an open and shut case, in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor. But bloodied paws? Nobody told me that detail. Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. This is your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony. Of course.
I know this.
You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. Cross-examine the witness to find flaws in his testimony. Select your key phrase that you find suspicious, and Falcon will press the witness for information. Ask the right questions to bring the truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Select a statement to question. Okay. Blood on her paws. Inspector, you say Dame Cataline had blood on her paws.
Correct?
Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict. How much blood was there? How much blood was there on the lady's paws, Inspector? Enough for it to be clear that she had dirtied her hands on the victim's body. We noticed blood under the suspect's nails, around her fingertips, and even a little around her mouth. Her mouth? How vile. The inspector's answer seems pretty definitive. Do you have another question about the blood on her paws? Yes. Whose blood was it?
Ha! What a question. It was Monsieur Grenouille's, of course.
How can you be so sure? I object. This line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Dame Cataline's paws could have only belonged to one person. Checks the notes. Monsieur Grenouille. Yes, that one. Judge, Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reason to suspect that the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Grenouille? Hope I remember my evidence. Pshaw. Do I? Yes. No. Maybe. No. Maybe? It starts with an S. Snake. Super. Steak. You're right. Thanks, Demos. I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than the suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Cataline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. This is foolish time-wasting, Falcon. If the blood on Dame Cataline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? The steak? On the evening of the murder, Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Mr. Abington? Well, in a matter of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? I mean, okay, let's hold off for a second here. We're in a world where apparently both people and animal people exist. So, if she was eating blood rare steak, then even if she wasn't technically perpetrating the murder of the frog, she was still partaking in the murder of something or someone else to eat. There are several questions in the implication of the world of the animal people. But I digress. Well, wait, don't answer that, Inspector. It's a possibility. No. So I think the reason I didn't remember the evidence is because I've had so little options to actually go in and look at the evidences. But now I have evidence. We have red herring, we have camera, we have missing claw cans, we have the cigar stub, and we have missing silverware. Hopefully I don't have to implicate the serving lady, because she was nice, if a little tall. You gained favor with the jury. So, Inspector Volerti, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater? Now, hold on just 1 minute, Falcon. You're overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Caroline is an elegant bourgeois kitten. She was no doubt brought up with flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper, civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners? Oh, that's a good question. Or at least, it would be, at any ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happened, something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced Dame Caroline to eat with her paws. Dame Caroline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had previously been stolen. Stolen? I don't recall any mention of that in the police report. We weren't aware of anything missing from the Rourke residence when we performed the initial investigation. But, as it happened, Baron Rourke approached us about this very subject last night. Ah. Innocent, perhaps? What a twist! You gained a little favor with the jury.
What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report?
Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force. Then it is amazing that the Persian police managed to solve any crimes at all, especially due to how far away those people are. Heh. Oh dear. Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for the next case? Dot. Fine, so be it, messieurs, until the next time. Persecutor, I trust your next witness is ready. Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Roberto Robinho, the photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder. Monsieur that guy, please approach the stand and recite the oath. He does exist. He does exist. Which means I didn't, unfortunately, get any evidence related to this guy. Because he was out, and I didn't want to illegally break into his house to get evidence. Robinho. Robinho. It's an Italian robin. I mean, now that I know he's a robin, Robinho makes a lot more sense as a name. How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's a little cliche, to be perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record? Humph. As if anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Robinho. Robinho. God damn it. Cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures. I capture their very essence. Je suis l'artiste. Pee-pee. He is a pee-pee. Don't. My French is flawless. You may have seen my works in hip magazines. Le Branche. Or... what? that other one? I can send you tweets if you'd like. What on earth is a tweet? Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon. It's the 19th century. Get with the times already. Yes, your works are very, impressive, Monsieur Rubinio. But let's get down to business. We must defeat the Huns. Could you tell us your activities were on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by Baron Rorquiel to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Rorquiel and left. Like a true artist. And with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph? I thought you might ask. I bought a copy so that you could all see for yourselves. Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look. Ah. We have some interesting information here. We have the Baron. We have the Kitty de Meow. And then we have the Thiefy Maid. That I forgot her name. The Thiefy Maid. We do not have the Frogman, who was supposedly in the photograph. And we have hands on the clock. The plot thickens. My word, this is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see, who do we have here? Oh, it's literally about to explain everything I just said. Okay. In the middle, we see Baron Rorquiel, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Signor Pertois de Miel, the father of the defendant, Dame Caroline. And finally, we see the housemaid, Colleen Duhot, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenouille. The second is the defendant, Dame Caroline de Miel. Quite suspicious, don't you agree? It's very exciting. Exciting? Jesus, Stevens. Just a moment, Monsieur Rabbiton. This proves nothing. So, the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at that point. Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet. Oh, very bold for a rabbit. Prosecution may continue. Behind the photographed subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set at, time set at 7:30. Perfect. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Volerty told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. You're looking up bird puns just to make it worse. Great. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Caroline herself. Falcon, something's fishy. In the jail cell, Dame Caroline told us she was present when the photograph took place, but I don't see her in Rubinio's photograph. That's true, but I can't use Dame Caroline's testimony as evidence. It has too little weight. If I want to prove that Monsieur Rubinio's photograph is not a valid piece of evidence, we'll have to dish out evidence of my own. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Very well. The defense may proceed. Humph. It's a waste of time, if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence. So he arrived at 7. Now, we don't have dialogue references. We don't have information of previous dialogue, so this is relying upon my memory, of which I am terrible at, to do things properly. So 7 p.m. I'm pretty sure that they did say that the photographer showed up at 7 p.m. So I think that's right. Set up his camera, fine. I do need to question the photograph for sure. And then he billed Baron Rorquil and left. I don't think the bill is relevant, other than to be a bird pun. I don't think that's relevant because no one once has ever mentioned the bill, and I don't think it's relevant to anything. But the photograph is important. Let's take a closer look at this photograph. ... Why is it black and white? I see a mistake in the photograph. Just to clarify, Monsieur Rubinio, photographs are a direct reflection of reality, are they not? That is correct. The photographic process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies. That is most curious, because I see a mistake. A mistake? Impossible. I just told you, monsieur. The camera is perfect, unbiased evidence. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps you could be more specific? Certainly. I am to click on the area that contains a mistake. So, we have two very clear mistakes. We have her in the frame, and we have that. I'm going to go with that. Well, okay. So, if I'm to go with both this and this as a mistake, then she was lying to me. Because she only mentioned that this has never had hands, and she didn't mention being in the photograph. And then I think she also mentioned that the frog was there too. So, I mean, both of those are mistakes. So let's cover both of them. The housemaid, Mademoiselle Duhot, clearly should not be in the photograph. The clock is probably the more hard-proof answer. You're probably right. That is not a mistake, monsieur. Of course it's a mistake. The housemaid has entered the photograph uninvited, like some sort of photographic bomb. I don't think anyone is disputing that the housemaid, photographically bombed the picture, Falcon. But that's not quite a mistake in the photograph. That's just an unfortunate incident that was captured on film. The rabbit understands, much like a misplaced brushstroke becomes part of a painting, a misplaced individual can form part of a photograph. That sounds like petty semantics to me. Petty semantics or not, it has little effect on the legitimacy of the photograph. Monsieur Falcon, if you see any legitimate, damning mistakes in the photograph, now would be the time to point them out. Fine. You're right, Demos. It was probably the clock I should have clicked. The clock in this photograph. There is something not right about it. Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his client. Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Rabbington. I have evidence that there is something wrong with the clock in that picture. Kerblamo. The photograph clearly shows the clock hands pointing at 7 and 6. That much is self-evident. Which is most curious because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Criniere has no hands. It has no hands? The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Rorquil or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Rubinio, how do you explain this discrepancy? I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless. There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. Maybe there was an error in the printing process? An error precisely where the clock's hand should be? Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Rubinio, edited this photograph. Edited? I'm no expert, but I suspect that you use paint or ink to carefully put hands on the clock. It would have been a simple task, considering the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph, just to simplify the editing process.
Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing?
Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph subject of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Rubinio created a perfect alibi. ... Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Rubinio coerced? Bribed? Threatened? Enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Rubinio.
Fine, you've got me. I'm guilty. I did it all.
You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grenouille? What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of doctoring the photo, I'm assuming. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock. You were ordered? By whom?
I dare not say.
Monsieur Rubinio, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's questions. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all.
With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system.
I shall name no names. His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon? That is most unfortunate. Monsieur Rubinio, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancient regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course. I can't protest. That is the least I deserve for my failure as an artiste.
Good day, messieurs. Good day. So the clock's hands were painted on. So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Cataline as absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant.
Don't be dense, Monsieur Remington. If the photograph's not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence.
Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events.
Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It is possible that Dame Cataline was painted out. Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for.
So, what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Signor Pertois de Miao, perhaps?
I don't think so. The housemaid lacks means or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Signor Pertois to implicate his own daughter.
Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Roguiel deliberately tried to frame Dame Cataline, because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is the pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing.
Howdy, Kinder. Welcome.
Yes, the people voting for the leopards eating our faces party are surprised when the leopards are eating our face, or in this case, the lions.
Monsieur Remington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However... Oh. Mayhaps I should offer my opinion?
But Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet.
So you would think, prosecutor, and yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence.
Incompetence?
Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge?
Yes, I suppose that's fine.
Very good. And I trust the defense has no objections?
Objection!
No? No objections here. Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening.
Okay, Baron Roguiel. On the night of the
initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Grenouille left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed behind him moments later. Signor Pertois, Monsieur Robinho, and myself were engaged in conversation. I missed a step. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Grenouille and Dame Cataline. That would be when I heard her cry for help. Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there. I would like to cross-examine the witness. Do you doubt my integrity, garçon? I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron. Very well, then. Hit me with your best shot. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Roqueruel, am an honest man. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Cross-examination. I need to look at evidence. Shall I ask him about the red herring? Or his cigar? Select a statement to question. The dinner went magnificently. So, I have several things to ask him about here. And I don't remember all of the conversations that have been had, so that's a problem. Monsieur Grenouille left to visit the garden. I think that's been fairly clarified at this point. Dame Cataline followed behind a few moments later. My housemaid discovered the pair just after the photographer left and called for help. I could ask him about the dinner and ask him about the missing silverware. I could ask him about the housemaid. I don't know exactly where to ask here. Any ideas? This is definitely something of a game, kinder. There's definitely something going on here. I'm also potentially looking to get multiple games in tonight, so we'll see if we get a good stopping point here. If maybe we want to play something else. I might want to ask him about the dinner. Demo says the garden or the housemaid. Let's talk about the housemaid, because she's been a shifty nonsense since the beginning. Because we don't really have much information. Well, I guess we have information in the garden that his cigar was out there. Yeah, let's go to the garden. Baron, we saw the murder scene, your garden, for ourselves. What's with all the horses? When was the last time you visited it? When was the last time you ventured into your own garden? As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my garden for years. Years, you say? Indeed. That's not right. Baron, I do not wish to call you a liar, but that claim does not hold up to scrutiny. Oh? And why is that? Because we have hard evidence that you have visited the garden recently. Balderdash! My word is gold. Show the court this so-called hard evidence that I have been in my garden. Well, if you ask, you shall receive. This was found in your garden. To be specific, it was found inside the fountain basin. Right beside where the murder occurred. A cigar butt. That could belong to, anybody, and... Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself. Oh, okay, sorry, Baron. That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize, Monsieur Falcon, for I misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years. But naturally, after hearing the housemaid's cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin. You see, Falcon? There's a perfectly reasonable explanation. I would find that believable if the cigar were casually discarded. But as it happened, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that could only be accessed with great inconvenience. And a little paddling. The cigar butt was not dropped. It was deliberately hidden. There are any number of possible explanations. Are there? Because I can only think of one. That is, that you, Baron Rorqual, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities. Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be? You want me to spell it out? Fine. Let's put everything on the table. You, Baron Rorqual, murdered Monsieur Gwenouille. That is what you were trying to keep hidden. Directly accusing me of murder? How shamelessly brazen. That is a ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence, no, means, motive, or opportunity. No evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Rabington. Every piece of evidence points to Baron Rorqual as the prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly has the means. His lion's claws are sharp as a surgeon's blade. Gutting a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur Rubino confessed just moments ago that he feared his claws. Ridiculous. I would never threaten a man with violence. You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2. This is preposterous. And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests. Ding! He was aware of the missing silverware, and yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then, ding! He hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Ding! Photographer, photographing the guests in front of a handless clock to make for easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said. Prosecutor, are you just going to let this slanderous yarn go uncontested? Say something. Object! Oh, you're pitifully useless. After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence, his finished cigar. He knew that leaving it at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. So, out of desperation, he threw it into his fountain, out of sight of his guests and snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Seigneur Pertoir de Miao, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Dame Cataline was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised. This is an outrage. Judge, I demand that you disbar this ranting lunatic. No, there is only one outrage here. That is, that a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You are a bourgeois of the worst kind. How dare you, garçon? The utter nerve for a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like myself of something so heinous. I am nothing like the fat cat bourgeois. I am respectable, hard-working capitalist. No, you're a ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs. You incredulous whelp! I ought to gut you right here and now like a damn frog! ... Could someone please restrain the Baron? I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man. To the prison with you. Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. This is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add? Well, in a matter of, speaking, well, to be honest, no. Then I shall now confirm with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask that the animals of the court please be patient in this time. Falcon, that was pretty incredible. Thank you. I just hope it was enough. What do you mean? You just proved Caroline's innocent. We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure. Sparrowson, I think you've misunderstood something important about the justice system. What's that? I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved Dame Cataline's innocent. All I have done is demonstrate that there are significant possibilities that she is not guilty. I'm not sure I understand the difference. We have reached a decision. In light of the recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find the defendant, Dame Caroline de Meow, to be not guilty. I should have used the red herring. Yes. Not guilty!
Monsieur Falcon, Petite Sparrowson, you did it.
Yeah, I suppose we did, didn't we?
We should go back to the office so we can celebrate properly. You did it, Falcon.
I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement.
I'm so proud of you both.
I'll go get 1 bottle of wine and 3 of our least dirty glasses.
You were amazing, Monsieur Falcon.
Ah, it was nothing.
I very much like the way you pinned the murder on the Baron. That was an act of sheer genius.
Well, I didn't pin anything. Sparrowson and I just worked at unveiling the truth, given the facts of the case.
Monsieur Falcon, there's no need to play coy. The case is over. ...
Play coy?
Don't tell me you're actually being sincere.
I'm completely lost.
Oh, wow. I thought the goody thing was an act, but you actually don't know. All right, I'll spell it out for you. I murdered Monsieur Grenouille. I saw him in the garden, all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. It was nothing personal, just business, you understand.
Business?
To increase my papa's share in the train company, of course. My papa always said that drunk old frog was the weakest link.
Your confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found Baron Rourke's cigar butt hidden in the garden.
Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose that was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris's finest.
But Falcon proved that Monsieur Rubinio's photograph was edited.
It was edited. I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to Monsieur Grenouille in the garden. My papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered Monsieur Rubinio to paint me over to...
Ordered Rubinio to paint me over Baron Rourke and to add his hands to the clock.
But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish altering the photograph by trial day. It's a good thing that Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly. ... What's with the silence? You should both be proud. There aren't many lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this, even for a bourgeois kitty like me. ...
I think you should leave.
Humph, fine. So much for celebrations. Here's the payment for your services, straight from my papa's pockets. Well, adieu, Mr. Falcon. Adieu, Petite Sparrowson. ... Falcon, what do we do now? ... Falcon?
He's just got this whole, like, oh shit act. Right? She just confessed, like, straight up. Like, she just confessed, so I should be able to just be like, hey, Judge, I have new evidence to bring to light here. End of Act 1. So I'm going to guess then that each set of pages in the Facebook is an act. So Act 1 was 9 people. Act 2, 9 people, etc. Yeah, that's a thing. I am very tired of doing voices. I need a game that does not make me do voices. So I need to be done with this. But Aviary Attorney will probably make an occasional appearance. Maybe his videos, maybe his streams. Who knows? But I'm done for the night of this game. Because I can't do any more voices. It's all of me is drained of voices. So, next game. Aviary Attorney was done. That was actually kind of delightful. Silly little animal puns, but not... Okay, so if I compare this to another animal pun game like Cat Quest, significantly fewer animal puns in this one. So I'll give it some credit there. So, that'll be it for this one.